Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to talk about states of matter. States of matter, when you are talking about states of matter, there are three states of matter. The first thing that comes in our mind that what is matter? So all matter is made up of atoms. Atoms are in constant motion and particles movement determine the states of matter. These are the three things that you should keep in mind when you are studying matter. What are these things? That the main fundamental particle is atom. The second is that it is constantly moving, and the third is that the particles they decide that what state of matter do you have, whether you have solid, whether you have liquid, or you have gas. Okay. When you are talking about the solid state, the first thing is that should come to your mind. There are two things actually. One is shape and the other is volume. A solid has a definite shape and a definite volume. Whenever you are talking about a solid, you are talking about something that has a definite shape and volume. I want you to look around and you can see that you have chairs, tables, sofas, TV, whatever in your room that is hard, it has a particular shape and you cannot change the shape of that thing. So because shape is perfect and you are not going to change it, so that's why you call it a solid. And what is the reason that something is solid? The particles or the atoms are very close together and then we say that the particles are in motion. But what motion they are? They are vibrating in their place. They are just moving. They're just vibrating. They are moving to and fro at their places. They are not going here and there. So when you are talking about such particles or such particle movements and such arrangement, then you are talking about solids. Now, there is an exception to this, and what is that? That water ice has more space between atoms than liquid water. Now, this is a simple exception. It's not everywhere, but just in water. Okay. After this, the second state that we have of matter is liquid. When you are talking about liquids, I want you to think of juice. I want you to think of water. And I want you to think of tea. Anything that you make, does it have any particular shape? No. If the tea is in the pot, it will look like that the tea has the shape of the pot. But once you put it in the cup, it takes the shape of the cup. The same with the water. If it's in the glass, it has the shape of the glass. If it's in the jug, it's the shape of the jug. But yes, there is a certain limit that you can put water in the glass or jug. You cannot put more than that. And because of that, we say that the volume is definite. So when you are talking about liquids, they do not have a definite shape, but they do have a definite volume. So solids, they have definite shape and volume, but liquids, they do not have definite shape, they have only definite volume. And when you are talking about atoms, why this definite shape is not there, it's because of the arrangement of the atoms. As you would have seen in the solids that the particles were closely packed, here in liquids they are close but they are not packed. They can move apart. They have the tendency to move. So they move a little. They do not just vibrate at their place. They do not just move to and fro. They have more kinetic energy and they move here and there. So kinetic energy is there because it is the energy of motion. Whenever anything is moving, it has the energy of motion. So what we can say is that in a liquid, the particles have weak bonds that keep them close together. The particles can slide around each other so the liquid can flow. And when the particles are moving here and there, what happens that the liquid can flow. Okay. So this is the state of matter. The second state of matter, which is liquid. After this, we have the third state of matter. And what is the third state of matter? It is gas. When you're talking about gas, I want you to think of a balloon. When you're thinking of a balloon, you know that when you blow a balloon, it's the size depends on how much air you put in it or how much you have blown it. So this means that air or gas has no definite shape and then it has no definite volume as well. The size of the balloon intensely depends on what you put in it. So for that reason, when you are not sure about the size or volume of the thing, then you are talking about gases. Okay. So what happens or why gases are like this? Because gases, the particles can move faster, they have more kinetic energy and then they are moving here and there. So when the kinetic energy is more, the particles move faster and when the kinetic energy is less, they move slower. But there are elastic collisions when you are talking about the particles of gas.